Hey everybody, this is Captain Fool reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old schoolyard days, where we would be in discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also use the League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. Jumping right into things, we're going to start with Batman issue 144, where 207 out of 261 liked it with a 3.5 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. Now, I gave it a 7.4, so that's a pretty, not too far difference of opinion there. This book was written by Chip Zdarsky, artist Andre Sorrento, which I probably butchered that name. Now, with that said, the cover art's got some pretty good art on it. As a matter of fact, some of the variant ones are pretty cool. The story says it's the chilling conclusion to the Joker Year 1. The climactic chilling conclusion. Yes. Well, we'll see how that is. And we get more about the Red Hood gang on a rampage. And of course, the only man who could stop it is the Joker. I think it's an interesting story. Decent art. But I am still on the fence if we should be messing around with the Joker's backstory. I think one of the things that make Joker great is the fact that we don't really know much about him. And you know what? I'd like to know your thoughts. Should we be leaving Joker alone, or should we be diving into the backstory and mining it? I'd really like to know what you think, because I'm at a crossroads on this one. Next one I'm going to jump to is Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 24. League of Comics Geeks said 217 out of 220 liked it with a 4.5 average rating, which is higher than I gave it, but I thought the book was strong. I gave it a 7.3. I think the cover's really cool, the main cover on this one with Batman holding Superman back, even though he never could. There is some good alternate covers for this book as well. Writer is Mark Waid, artist is Dan Mora. It says, Return to Kingdom Come by Mark Waid, and Dan Mora concludes, with no way back to their own Earth, will Superman and Batman have to witness the tragic events that led to the cataclysm? Or are they fated to take the place of their doppelgangers? I think it's a good conclusion. And it shows Superman and his impact on the world. How important this character is to the DC universe. It's good art, good action. Once again, I'm not a Wade fan, but this series has not disappointed. I did enjoy this. You hear my notes there? Me with my pen and paper. All right. With that said, let's jump to my next one here. I got to pull it up on my list here so I can compare it. By the way, is there a comic book that I should be reading? Let me know what you think. I can't read them all, but I'm trying to get as much as I can. People say I need to be hitting more independents, and I do read some more independents. Usually I just don't review them, but because they're so hit and miss when I get time to read them. Next one is Green Lantern War Journal number 6. With 81 out of 85 liking it with a 4.1 average rating. I only gave this one a 7 out of 10. I think this one was a little bit weaker compared to some of the other issues in this series. There is some really cool variant covers for this one. The standard cover is just okay at best. Writer Philip Kennedy Johnson, artist is Montos. This says the first story arc concludes here. I don't really think it was much of a conclusion, but it is what it is. Because I want to see what happens with John Stewart and his mother. Yeah, the climactic conclusion of the first arc of Green Lantern War Journal. John Stewart's team has faced heavy losses, and he alone comes face to face with the Revenant Queen. It's not been a bad series. I really like the connection between him and his mother. I've stated that before, actually more than the main story of the comic book. Okay art, decent story, good action, and there is some story progression here, so it was not a bad issue. If you're a fan of John Stewart or Green Lanterns in general, this is probably one that's not too bad. I think you might want to consider giving it a try. You know, speaking of giving things a try, Nightwing issue 111, 156 out of 178 liked it with a 3.9 average rating. I gave it a 7.4. We have the Tom Taylor is the writer and artist is Sammy Sorry. And here's the thing, I'm not a big Tom Taylor fan, but I'm liking the change in art style here. I like this art a lot better. So what's wrong with Nightwing? Something's very wrong. He's sort of afraid of heights now. He can't jump. What's going on with that? And we need to figure out what's going on. I'm wondering what's the deal here. I don't know if I think that's really worthy of a main story and maybe a little something action with it. Maybe some character's going to do something to him. Who knows? It was a better than expected issue, though. Better art than what we've been getting. The story is somewhat interesting. But here's the thing. The writer is causing Dick here to be flaccid. So we'll see what happens. Can Dick get it up and get past it? And of course, there's some alternate covers that some of the ladies and people might like. We'll see what happens continuing on with Dick. Can he get it up? Can he continue the series? Or will Tom Taylor make everyone go down? We'll see. Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by My Wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you, everybody. And let's get back to the video. The next one is Captain Marvel number 5, where the whole 42 out of 47 liked it with a 3.8 average rating. Captain Marvel just can't seem to sell well. I think Marvel is just not doing well enough with this book. They can't retain the readers of the past, and trying to bring in new readers isn't doing really well in that regard. I gave this book a 7. Yeah, just a 7. Stephen Sergiova is the cover artist, and I didn't see anything in this cover that made it good. There's a couple alternate covers that are much better. One with a classic, one of the more classic suits of Captain Marvel, not her original suit, mind you, but one of her more popular suits, if you will. And with that said, writer is Alyssa Wong, artist is Jan Bazadula, whatever that. Sorry if I butchered that. We have revelations in the wings. Who are the undone, and what do they want with Captain Marvel? The worlds already intersect more than the Captain knows. And here's the thing. I think part of the problem with Captain Marvel, she's really struggling. They're struggling giving her good villains. I don't think they really know what to do with the character. They've touted how powerful she is in the MCU so much, but really she was never quite that powerful. She was a powerful character, but not anywhere near that power level. And I think they're really struggling to find their way with this character. Not a good cover. The backstory, or the background art, not backstory, I'm sorry, the background art in this book is really not good. It's almost non-existent. The art is really okay at best overall. The whole issue is just mid-tier, and that's the thing. I just don't think there's enough in this to be getting new readers. So, if they do get any MCU fans to cross over to get this book, I can't see how it pulls them in and makes them want to keep on reading. But I think this is an issue this character has struggled with for a very long time, and we haven't seen any way or form to make that change. I think they've tried too much to change the core of the character to make her relatable and cool to the trendiest new social constructs and things that are out there, and chased away the classic readers. So they failed to pull in new readers with the changes, and they failed to maintain the classic readers, and it just hasn't helped that book. The next one on my list is Daredevil number 6. 134 out of 136 liked it with a 4.1 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, where I gave it a 7.5. We have the writer is Saladin Ahmed, sorry dude, and artist Aaron Cooter. Hey Cooter! A little fun of humor there. It's a book of revelations in this issue. In the first no holds barred arc of Daredevil, Saladin Amnon and Aaron Cooter tore Matt Murdock's world asunder. It tore Matt Murdock's world asunder, with those closest to him ensnaring by some dangerous and malevolent force. Matt's been left with nothing but questions. In this issue, he finally starts to get some answers from the strangest. First of all, pun intended, is Doctor Strange. They put him right on the cover. It's sort of obvious. It's an okay cover. But here's the thing. Solid art in this issue. Interesting story. Good pacing. Next issue, though, we're going to get Daredevil versus a possessed Wolverine. I think that's going to be interesting. If you're a Daredevil fan, I think you're going to like this run. And I'm really looking forward to the next issue. And I think you just might be as well. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want that fight? The next issue up is The Incredible Hulk, number 9. 108 out of 115. Liked it with a 4 average rating, and I gave it a 7.4 for this particular issue. Is it worth its $3.99? Well, let's discuss that and see what your thoughts are. Philip Kennedy Johnson's the writer and artist. It's Danny Earls? Yeah, Earls. My name is Earl. We have Hulk vs. Angel of Death. Yep. Philip Kennedy Johnson's latest spine-chilling tale brings Hulk into a supernatural town hunted by a serial killer. But she is no more mortal killer, and Hulk will need the help of a supernatural detective in order to help track her down. I think the art is not very good in this issue at all. It's a different style. I didn't care for it. Not for me. It's a dark story, though, that I do like that. Good pacing. If you like dark Hulk stories and this side of Hulk, I think you're going to enjoy this series at this point. Now, this next issue hopefully brings a little joy to you, and I sadly don't think the numbers are high enough on this, because this is a character I've liked since day one. I've always enjoyed and shared my thoughts of, and that's Luke Cage Gang War issue number 4. 32 out of 36 liked it with a 3.5 average rating, letting me know that probably not a lot of people are picking this up. They're not picking up Luke Cage, which is just a shame, because I want more traditional Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Danny Rand, Iron Fist, with the power of Iron Fist together. I want more of that. You know what? You could throw in some of these other characters too, because they do get along with them. Great. Unfortunately, I just don't think this book is getting much traction. Well, it did get much traction. It's done, because it was just a mini series, but I wish it would have gotten more. Rodney Barnes is the writer. Artist is Raymond Box. You know, we got a lot of good characters in this issue. We had Cloak, we had Dagger, and I think they work well with Luke Cage and Iron Fist, as well as Jessica Jones. They make a good grouping, a fun story with them. So we have unmasked and faced with the giant spider slayers. Luke Cage suits up as he's never done before. New York City may survive the gang war, but after breaking the anti-vigilante law, how can Luke still be the mayor at the end? Will he even want to be? Well, you read the issue, find out. I think it's a good issue, good action, good art. We need more Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Come on, give us Danny Rand, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. They make a great pair. What a wonderful team. Let's get more good writing with them together. This wasn't bad. If you haven't checked out, maybe get all 4 Gang War Luke Cage issues. I think you'll like it. The next issue I want to talk about wraps up another miniseries, and that's Marvel's Superheroes Secret Wars Battle World number 4. Whew, that is a mouthful, right? But here's the thing, only 11 out of 12 liked it with a 4.4 average rating. Now, that's not a bad rating, of course, but 11 out of 12. If that only on League of Comics Geeks is getting that few, it means this probably did not sell well, which is in some ways okay, because it's not really something we can keep diving into anyway. I gave it a 7.6. I thought it was all right. And it's a throwback. It really is. It's a throwback to classic times. The writer Tom DeFalco, good to see some Tom DeFalco writing. I enjoy his work. And artist Pat Olive. Really, I do enjoy Tom DeFalco. I want to see some of these older gentlemen that we've been writing, diving back and getting some work in Marvel again. I really would. In this one, we have Falcon, Iceman, Daredevil, Human Torch versus Spider-Man. What's going to happen? What will happen issue? You need to read to find out. Good cast of characters in this. You know what? And it's nice seeing classic Falcon. That's the way I like my Falcon. Final issue in this. Good art, good action, good characterization as well. I think this was a fun miniseries. If you want to pick up a miniseries, this is a good one for you to pick up on. You can get the 4 issues to get the whole thing and then be done with it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I read a lot of books this week, so diving into the next one, trying to go a little bit quick to keep this not too long for everybody, is Spider-Woman number 4. 40 out of 49 liked it with a 3.7 average rating. I gave it a 7.1. I know not everybody's into the gang war thing. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm enjoying the Gang War story. Steve Fox wrote this, artist Carol Borelli. I will recommend checking out the alternate covers. There is some really good alternate covers for this issue. Throwbacks to later years with different versions of Spider-Woman, as well as a different Spider-Woman as well. That's now Madam Web. It's an okay story, I thought. Decent art, too. Good action in this issue. Good pacing. Spider-Woman fans, I think, will like this issue. I really do. I don't think it's bad. It's good we keep seeing Spider-Woman back in the classic costume. You know, they tried to update her and do it differently, you know, make her not as attractive, I think, overall, because they were afraid of people, and, you know, all that social jargon, people on Twitter that don't buy anything anyway, clearly didn't make a difference, right? Put her back in her suit that everybody likes, which is good, because the gang war rages on. Jessica Drew finds the answer she's been looking for, but her reunion with her son propels her into a new paradigm. I will tell you, it doesn't go well for her. Sort of a kind of twist on the story, but maybe it's a way to get rid of the kid issue. I don't know. I don't think the kid was an issue in the first place, but they're making it into something different now. If you like Spider-Woman, check it out. If you don't, maybe check out the early part, get the few issues and see. It might be worth your time. Hopping out of Marvel a little bit to take place in a different universe, we're looking at G.I. Joe, a real American hero. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe. You know, remember those cartoons that everybody would get shot at, but nobody ever gets shot. Vehicles get blown up. They'd always hop out and be safe. Because, you know, you got to be careful with the violence. 41 out of 43 like this issue with a 4.1 average rating. I gave it a 7.9, so we're really close there. Larry Hama is the writer. Artist is Chris Mooneyham. I'm sorry if I, butchered that. Anyway, we have a Blue Ninjas here. We got more of the continuing of the story of the evolution of these new Blue Ninjas and forces joining together. The former Snake Eyes is on a recon mission as well in Springfield to find out what's going on. And it's pretty cool. And I'm glad that we have the original Snake Eyes back. But this is a cool character too, so I'm glad we get to keep her as well. It's an exciting issue. Good art, classic characters. G.I. Joe. Really, if you're a G.I. Joe fan, you should be reading this. If you are not, it might be a little bit of a rough time to pick up on, but it is what it is. It is a classic. If you like the cartoons, I think you would like this. Now, another spin-off of this, and I think this is fantastic, by the way. Absolutely a fantastic book that even if you aren't a G.I. Joe fan, you could probably enjoy this. And I think that the results on League of Comics Geeks is going to show that as well. And that's Cobra Commander issue 2. 163 out of 165 liking it with a 4.2 average rating. Yeah, 4.2. I give it a 7.9. I probably should have given it an 8, but I teetered on that. And the writers, Joshua Williamson, artist as Andre Milena. Sorry, I can't say a name. Can't do it. I actually hit the wrong button sound effects. There we go. That's how people think when I say names, because I just can't pronounce them. After last issue's shocking reveals, Cobra Commander searches for a power greater than any the Earth has ever seen. But when the mission brings him face to face with a fan favorite G.I. Joe faction, will they be friend or foe or something else entirely? Yes, we get some cool characters in this issue. It is brutally good issue, good story, good action. But the reason I knocked it down a little bit is the art. I thought the art was decent, not bad, decent, but that's where maybe it could pick up. Boy, this has been good stuff. I'm enjoying this, and the connection that they're doing with this and the Transformers has just been really good. And speaking of Transformers, if you have not been reading the Transformers, you really should. Transformers issue number 5. I think it came out last week, if I recall. It was good too. That series continues to be good. Matter of fact, I gave that an 8. It's a devastating issue. Great action, great pacing, great story. A must read for any G1 or any Transformers fan in general is Transformers. So that's my outside of the week possible pick there. If you haven't read it, because I think I got it a week late, but boy, I enjoyed it. So those are my issues for this month. Yes, I have issues. We all have issues, right? But But I want to know, what issues did you read that I didn't, that you think I should read? Once again, I don't always cover everything that I read here, but I do a big chunk. It's a big month, and I went a little long, but that's okay. I hope you all have a wonderful time. Be good to each other. Oh, wait a minute. Did I talk about Superman? Did I ever talk about... I don't know if I put that in my notes. Let me see here. Did I talk... Oh, no, I missed one. Superman 11. Whew. Good catch there before I drop. Superman number 11. Wow, how could I miss that? 189 out of 196 liked it with a 3.9 on League of Comics Geeks. I gave it a 7. Kicker is I did not like the art in this issue, but the story continues to be good. Writers Joshua Williamson, artist is David Belladion, which I just, once again, I cannot get into that art style here. I prefer the art we were getting before. We have more about going against Lex, trying to take out Lex and blame him for everything, which is cool, and Superman's got to defend him. We get some deals with Kryptonite and all that in this issue. If you are a Superman fan, I really think this has been a fun time. This has been a fun issue, even with the art not being great. Check it out. So sorry for the half ending, and now I'm going to actually end it because I can't believe I missed that issue. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Keep safe, and you know what? Let's be good to somebody. Until next time, keep it frugal.